Please, if you're excited to be in today's training, can you kindly give me, can you kindly reflect your excitement in the chat box while we wait for others to come? Or you can just send a reaction. Thank you, Obasi. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anthony. Okay, so while we wait for others to come, can we just keep sending in our excitement through reactions? Thank you.
Dr. Lucky, your voice is very shallow. I don't know. Please, can you go on the call and come back, please?
Good afternoon once again, better farmers. So, for those that are just joining us today, we are here for yet another session of the Better Farmers training, and today is day 3. If you're excited to have been in the training from day 1, 2, and today's training, please can you give it up in the chat box and also in the live chat for those on YouTube. It's been such an impactful session learning through all of these days. And if you know that you've learned something through this past 3 days, or past 2 days rather, can you please express your excitement? I'm not seeing anybody expressing excitement. Have you guys not learned? Have you guys not been updated with information about how to become better farmers? Thank you very much, Edobong. Thank you, Obasi. Thank you, Michael. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much. All right, so today, as we prepare to commence this training, I want to encourage us to give our full attention to this training. Yes, and if you're planning to just stay for just a little while, I'd really encourage you to abort such plan. Because if you've been in the training for the past 2 days, you know that it's really been a wonderful session. Yes, it's really been wonderful. And even though I am not a farmer, but then at least I got little insight. Well, not really little sharp, but then I got insight on how I could actually manage my garden at my backyard. So thank you. So it's such a pleasure to be here. And my name is Fortune Ayo. I'll be your moderator for today's session. So I would like to give us few tips on how to conduct ourselves while the training is ongoing. So while the training is ongoing, please, you're requested to kindly mute your mics and turn off your videos. And if you have any questions, of course, which I'm very sure that there will be a lot of questions coming in, please do well to use the chat box for those on the call and the live chat for those on YouTube. Thank you very much. So right about now, I'll be calling on the manager for this training, Donald. So I don't know if he's here on the call. Mr. McDonald, please, are you here? Mr. McDonald.
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening. We can hear you.
Oh, finally. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. How are we doing?
Good evening, sir.
Good
We're doing
evening.
well.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay. I'm very sorry. I was online. I was on the call, but I heard when the moderator called me, but my mic has been muted, and I don't know why that. I'm going to investigate into that. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to today's training. I'm trying to look for our participants on YouTube. So, our participants on YouTube, are you there with us? If you're there, can you just say hi, hello, welcome to today's training in the live chat? I will check that out. I will check that out. So, those for us that are here on YouTube on Google Meets, good evening once again, and welcome to day three of the Better Farmers Training Project. And I want to say a very big thank you and welcome to our facilitator for today. Thank you for joining in very, very early, sir. And thank you very, very much for your help to us. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you to our participants. You are here once again, and this shows your commitment to training, your commitment to learning, and your commitment to being a better farmer. I am very, very optimistic that with the knowledge you gain here and with your determination to put them into practice at the end of the training, at the end of the Better Farmers training, you definitely won't you definitely won't regret it. Thank you very, very much. So my work coming up this first time has always been very simple, which most of us knows. Which most of us knows to introduce GSAI, introduce the Better Farmers Project, and also to give announcements. And for those of us that have been in this call for more than twice, today is the third day, I believe those things should not be very new to you. But there's always a reason for repetition, even in learning. As you repeat things, you keep learning and you keep knowing better. But today, I would come from another angle. I would come from another angle. So I have explained what GSAI is all about. For those of us that are new here, GSAI is an acronym for Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative. And we have a simple goal. Is it simple? But we have a clear goal of ensuring that we have and we produce well-trained and high-producing farmers. Well-trained and high-producing farmers. And we do this through a lot of ways, through partnership, through trainings like this, through discussions, even through the practicals. Well, as you follow GSAI on our social media handles, you would see a lot of things we are doing. That these things we are doing, we are not just saying them, we are actually doing them. And while the training is ongoing, I'm going to I should send the organization's website so that you could go online and search for GSAI and you actually see and know what we are doing. We are not just any non-governmental organization that you've known. We are reputable and we are known. So Better Farmers Project is aimed at creating well-trained, knowledgeable, high-producing farmers, both in Nigeria and globally. So you're welcome to this. And like I used to say, this training is to be in different batches, and this is the first batch. This is the first batch. So if the first batch is this week, if we hold the second batch and the third batch, then you should know what you should expect. And also for emphasis sake, I said that each batch aims to pick up two agricultural problems, and we aim to solve this problem or we reduce it to its barest minimum. We aim to solve the problem or reduce it to its barest minimum. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Then over to please, can I confirm? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you very, very much. So over to the announcement. We have this training, like I say, is going to be, we have training materials which we have seen the facilitators always project every training there. And as we have seen, as we can be seeing, the training materials are very rich. And those training materials will free, be given free at the end of the whole training. So when we reach the end of the training, we're going to share the training materials free. And we have been sending the training link, and I'm going to send the links on the WhatsApp groups once again. If you haven't, please go on LinkedIn, search for Growth for Sustainable Agriculture Initiative, click and follow. Go on Instagram, follow us there. Go on Facebook, follow us there. And also on YouTube, please subscribe. Subscribe. Then today, on the aspect of getting the certificates, today I sent a message to the groups with samples of the certificates. So you could see what a certificate would look like. If you're on the group, you must have seen that. So I'll just explain on those 3 points that were there. And there are more points. So on getting GSAI certificate at the end of this training, this certificate is not just a a national certificate. I can say it's an international certificate. GSA has hosted a program in the New York this year, the 80th United Nations General Meeting. We did a site event with them. We did a side event with them. So GSAI is not just an ordinary NGO. It's an internationally recognized NGO. So the certificate you'll be getting is also a certificate that can be internationally recognized. I want to confirm the program we did. I want to confirm the program we did so that I would say that. Okay, so that's one. That's one about the certificate you're getting. You're not just getting any other certificate from any organization or getting an internationally known certificate. So we did African Agricultural Investment Summit 2025 United Nations General Assembly site event with the theme Empowering African Youth Through Agricultural Investment Cooperatives. That was hosted and also done by GSAI. So when you get the certificate, you also have consultant advantage. You can use your certificate with the knowledge you've gathered and you offer consultant services both in integrated pest management for crop and animal farm and also in digital agriculture. You earn consulting fees, you boost your CV. You can also have access to capital and contracts. You can leverage your certificate to get grants, to get loans, and to get even large supply contracts. You have the technical capacity backed by GSAI. I'll be stopping there for today. So we have details on the group. So this certificate is seriously a proof of knowledge, is seriously a proof of what the knowledge you have gathered here, and is a proof that can be on your CV. It's what you can use to end the year 2025 with. Welcome once again to another training of integrated pest management for crop and animal farming. Thank you very much. Welcome. Remember the question as you go through today's training. At the end of this training, will I be a better farmer? Thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. McDonald. Thank you very much for that information. So while our project manager was speaking, I noticed that quite a number of participants joined during the call, and I'm going to reiterate what I said before. So you all are welcome to the day 3 of the Better Farmers training. And as we prepare to commence this training, I want to encourage us all to give our full attention to this training. If we've been here for the past few days, we know already that this training is and has been very impactful, and today is not going to be an exception. So while we prepare to invite the facilitator for today's training, I'd kindly, I'd kindly ask that we mute our mics and put up our videos. Thank you very much. And if there's going to be any questions, of course there will be. Do well to use a live chat for those that are watching us on YouTube. And for those on this call, please use the chat box. Thank you very much. So right about now, I'll be inviting our facilitator for today's training session, who will lead us on the exclusive training on integrated pest management for crop and animal farms, Mr. Nze Ohazirike Lucky. He is a trainer, innovator, and agribusiness professional with over a decade of experience advancing sustainable food systems across Nigeria. He has partnered with leading organizations including USAID, UNIDO, AFDB, and IITA, delivering high-impact projects in food safety, value chain development, and climate-smart agriculture. Please, as I'm reading the introduction, as I'm reading the profile of our facilitator, please, I want to encourage us all to welcome him, give a warm welcome by putting up our emojis in the chat box, and also just giving him a warm welcome. Thank you very much. So Mr. Nze Ohazirike Lucky has played key roles in developing cassava quality frameworks under UNIDO, WACQIP, and strengthening yam seed systems through IITA's Percival project. He's passionate. He's a passionate advocate of integrated pest management, and he focuses on practical, low-cost strategies that reduces pesticide use, protect the environment, and empower farmers to achieve safer, more resilient production systems. Don't miss this opportunity to learn from an expert who is shaping the future of sustainable agriculture in Nigeria. And for today's training, our expert facilitator, Mr. Nze Ohazirike Lucky, will be taking us. Thank you very much. Please, can you give a warm welcome to Mr. Nze Ohazirike? Thank you very much. We are so much on this call and also on YouTube. Please, can we give a warm welcome? He's not going to come up. He's not going to come up yet because the welcome that I'm seeing here is not encouraging. Please let's give it up to Mr. Nzi as he comes up. Thank you very much. Thank you
Good
very
after Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir. Good
Can
afternoon,
you hear
sir.
me?
Yes, we can.
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you,
Uh,
sir.
I'm glad to be with you guys this evening. My Mark, can you please help me to share my presentation? I sent, yes, a updated version of it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Please, I will send it to the technical team to do that right away, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Well, while we're waiting for the presentation to come up, I would like to appreciate every one of you that participated in the last assignment that was given. I wanted to start with that without wasting time. The assignment was practical pest identification assignment. The crop that we focused on is our tomato, open field or greenhouse. We said as scenario one, a farmer in Carolina noticed that his tomato plants are showing unusual shape tone. He reported the following: young leaves appear coiled upwards, presence of tiny green stroke yellow insect cluster on the tender shoots, sticky substance, honey in bracket honeydew on the leaves, salty black layer appearing on the sticky leaves, ants frequently climbing up and down the tomato stem. And the task was so simple. Using your IPM principle, identify the most likely pest, explain how you arrive at the identification, and suggest what additional information you would collect if you were unsure. Then only three people, only three persons attempted the assignment. Mr. Timothy Dodo, I want to really appreciate you. You really, really tried. In fact, three people, Mr. Timothy, Honorable Dr. Andrew, and Mr. Joshua. These are the only three persons that attempted. But it's really not a good thing. It shows that it's just out of the whole people, it's only three people that are following. These assignments are made to see if we are following or if we are catching up with the presentation. Well, response is supposed to be first identified. Expected answer is amphied, amphied. Okay, I understand we had more than three persons. So, but these first three persons are the people that really made a good attempt as of the time I checked the whole response. I understand now that we have more than three persons. I appreciate you guys. Expected answer, the amphids, the green patch amphid. What are the justification for this identification? Participants should show step-by-step reasoning, such as, when you're an agronomist or when you're a farm manager and you have been experienced in this field, these are the things, the observations were already laid out. Leaf symptom, upward current typical of is typical of sap-sucking insect. Insect appearance, small, soft-bodied, green stroke yellow cluster, classic aphid colonies. Honeydew present, aphid extracts, extract honeydew when feeding. Sorting mode, it shows growths on honeydew, confirming a sap-sucking pest. Ant activity, where they move up and go down, their presence reinforce this diagnosis. Additional data participants would collect. Participants should add any of the following to show full IPM thinking. Check on the side of leaf using a handless. I've mentioned several times using handless. Examine presence of winged aphid, indicating that they are migrating. Check for natural enemies like ladybird beetles, lacewings, etc. Assess the population level. Count aphid per leaf or per shoot. Compare symptoms across multiple plants to rule out herbicides damage or nutrient issues. I thank you. I thank you all for those that really participated. This is a very, very simple and straightforward response that I expected. Mr. Timothy Dodo actually followed this way. He followed this way and did a very good job in his descriptions, in his response. Meanwhile, I will jump. Hello? Today, we'll be going straight to the module 3, cultural, mechanical, and physical control. We have been going through this through module 1, module 2, module 3. Now we are in module 3. So, like last section, we'll be having 2 practical assignments for these modules. We have scenario 2, we also have scenario 3. Now, this is scenario 2. It concerns both the cultural control, both the mechanical and physical. Now, scenario 2, a maize farmer in Benue complains of the following. Young maize leaf shows holes and the window pane feeding. Damage is mostly in the central hole of the plant. Many plants have rust, that's insect droppings inside the hole. The farmer plants maize on the same land every year using leftover seed from previous harvest. His field is heavily weeded during the first 3 to 4 weeks after planting. Planting is often late June to July, when rains are already heavy. The local extension agents suspect fall worms infestation. You are to advise the farmer using cultural control method only, no chemical, no biological. Participants should follow this pattern to respond. Identify cultural practice that increases pest pressure. Propose cultural control solution. Propose cultural control solution using IPM principles. Explain how each cultural method reduces the fallworm. The next slide shows the second scenario. The technical team will share this assignments to you. Let's move to the next presentation. Next slide. Let's look at quarantine control. Quarantine control is part of the physical method we are supposed to use. Quarantine control in crops. Quarantine control is an exclusion principle. It prevents the introduction of pests in the locality or in the country. Inspection and seed certification and their inspection will ensure that the seedling materials are free from any pest organism. Use of pathogen-free propagating materials. This ensures the tools and equipment used in the propagation are sterilized and sanitized to avoid pest contamination, as well as the stocks. Quarantine control in crops. These are the practical examples. Banning movement of infected plants. Restricting the movement of cassava cuttings from areas with cassava mosaic virus. to clean zone, stopping the movement of maize from areas that are infested with fallworms. 2. Seed certification and inspection. Only certified pest-free rice seed to prevent introduction of rice blast and brown plant hoppers. Banning uncertified yam seed tubers from area with yam nematode. These are the functions of quarantine, or these are the quarantine methods. We also have border checks. When you are traveling, you see all these our farmers that are moving most of the seeds from one location to the other. You see quarantine personnel along the road stopping them, trying to check whether they are carrying disease or infested seed or seedlings. You see them at border checks, etc. Quarantine control. Quarantine control prevents pests and disease from entering new areas through movement restrictions, inspections, and isolation. When they notice that there are problems, when they notice that there's a lot of problems with the seeds that they sow, they will now stop it and isolate them, inspect and isolate. Crop examples: no movement of no movement of cassava cuttings from infested zone, certified rice seed only, inspect fruits for fruit flies before entering. Livestock examples: isolate new animals before mixing with herds, ban movement of poultry during avian flu, inspect cattle at border for ticks and trypanosome. These are just for quarantine method. We are still dealing with IPM, integrated pest management, a way of helping the farmers, helping our farms to reduce the effect of pests, or how the way pests destroy our crops. And one of the ways that we do that is using the quarantine control. Then after that, we move to the cultural control. Cultural control involves are practical that reduces pest establishment, production, dispersal, and survival. For example, changing irrigation practice can reduce pest problem, since too much water can increase root disease and weed. Seed treatment. Favorable soil condition speed up plant growth, and vigorous crops are more resistant to infestation. We are looking at various cultural control: soil treatment, selection of suitable plants, choice of planting date, water management, land preparation, optimal rule, spacing, intercropping, fallows, crop rotation, field sanitization, mulching, fertilizer management, trap crop. We also look at managing grazing patterns, pasture rotation, waste removal. Selection of suitable plants. Healthy seedlings and seeds to determine successful crop development. So it is important to choose pest-free planting materials with strong roots. Certified seed, visual inspection, and pre-sowing seed treatment helps avoid the problem in the future. As part of an integrated pest management program, planting resistant or tolerant cultivars help farmers to reduce yield losses. For example, a study attests to the resistance of white satin F1, Samba F1, Afro F1, these are varieties, and Yellowstone cultivar to the heartworm, carrot, aphid. Use of resistant variety. This is one of the best way in cultural control, use of resistant variety. For instance, cassava variety of TME 419, it resists CMD and reduces whitefly damage. Cowpea, that's Sampe 11, it resists Muruka, Muruka pod borers. Then we look at choices of planting date. In integrated pest management, favorable dates for sowing or planting makes the crop the least subjected to pests or already strong enough to withstand infestation. For example, it is better to sow squash earlier so that it can mature before pickleworm returns from the southern area, because this pickleworm they migrate. At the same time, too early planting may result in root rot due to excessive soil moisture after winter. Planting maize early, May, June, helps to escape peak of fallworms infestation. Rice, rice planted early escapes stem borers and gall midge. Proper spacing. Proper spacing. Good spacing in tomato reduces earlier blight and late blight. Proper yam spacing reduces anthracnose spreading. We are also looking at crop rotation. Non-host crop sequence are not suitable for specific pest species. For example, rodents reduce grain yield, while birds and snail damages strawberries. If the habit is not suitable and there are no required crops, pests will live for more lucrative places. Thus, among other applications, crop rotation can be effectively used as an integrated pest management method. Rotating maize and soybeans reduces stem borers and fallworm pressure. Rotating tomato and onions breaks root knot nematode cycle. Then we'll look at use of a trap plant. Trap plants, planting trap plants in patches is another option for IPM intercropping. The integrated pest management method suggests attracting pests to specific plants and then controlling them with chemical or mechanical techniques. In particular, you can grow soybean as a trap crop for Japanese beetles. Radish are also attractive for cabbage root maggots. Then we talk about weed management as part of the cultural control. Weed don't only reduce crop, it does not only reduce crop access to nutrients, but hamper their healthy development, making them vulnerable to infestation. Furthermore, undesired vegetation may host pests. This is why weed control method of IPM plays a significant role in the integrated approach. Example, remove crop residue after harvest prevents termites in cassava. It also prevents fallworms in maize stalks. Yes, we can see the next slide where we have slide showing the methods. We can see the hand trowel, we can see land preparation done, we can see hand pulling of weed in as a physical control method. Then we'll move to the next slide, mechanical control and physical control. What are mechanical control, or what are mechanical and physical control? Both of these control methods kills a pest directly, block pest out, or make the environment unsuitable for it. Example of mechanical control is hand destruction, exclusion by screen barriers, trapping suction devices, collecting machines, crushing and grinding. We also have manual removal of pests like picking sticks, fumigation, scraping for livestock. Then for the physical control, we also have heat, hot water treatment, hot vapor treatment, solarization. We also have cold storage, energy, that's the use of light and irradiation, sound for avian pests. Mechanical practices, it includes following processes. We said removal and destruction of eggs, of egg masses, larvae, pupa, and disease plant parts, if possible. Installation of bamboo cage comb bed, that's the creatures in the field, and conservation of natural enemies. Use of light trap and destruction of trapped insects. Installation of bed preachers in fields for allowing birds to sit and feed insects. Use of pheromones for mating and kill zone creation. Use of a pheromone trap for monitoring and suppression of pest population and mass trapping. Hand picking, like we mentioned, removing or picking pests out manually is a time and labor consuming option that is widely applied in integrated management practices and organic farming. Mature insects or their eggs and larvae are collected by hands and destroyed. Farmers hand pick grasshoppers in vegetable farms, and they hand remove larvae of fallworms from maize. Then the trap. Trapping is a common mechanical IPM method to isolate harmful organisms. Their exits. These exist different types of electrical or mechanical trap that attract pests with light or fire, collect them through air suction, or repel them with electricity or sound. Yellow sticky trap. When you go to most of the vegetable or greenhouse, you see most of these sticky traps. You see them colored yellow, in the blue, because insects like color. They are attracted to color. So when these sticky traps are placed around the whole farms, that's the first place they go. When they go, they are being caught up inside the trap. Then we also have the rodent trap, wire trap rats in rice field and grain store. Metal trap used in houses. We also have physical barriers, net houses, fences, then etc. Then we look at you can see the pictures, you can see the mechanical practices, we can see where they're using nets, you can see this yellow, you can see the yellow sticky trap, you can see the land preparation done, you can also see traps everywhere. Mechanical and physical control kills pests directly, block or make the environment unstable for it. Trap for rodents are example of the mechanical control. Physical control include mulching, include mulching, etc. Then we can see the next slide. You can see the next slide where we have preventive cultural mechanical control, where we have clean on a regular basis, keep ventilation working for our livestock, keep field off the ground and dry, weed environment, use mower, we contribute to a lot of problems. Dispose of mortalities and afterbirths immediately. Clean hard to reach areas. Clean equipment. Then we have our prevention, cultural and mechanical control. Slide 63. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, we can
We
hear
are
you clearly.
we are in slide 63. Then we talk
I
about
hear you.
filling and trapping, removing removed manure. This prevent the spread of flies and beetle dispersal. Manure must be completely sealed and placed in sunlight. If you don't do that, that's why if you go to most of the farms, poultry farms, livestock farms, you see them exposing some of their manure or cow dungs or livestock poo. Some of them are except for the people that want to use the poo for for maggots to raise maggots. The notes also see how we are supposed to tie these things together. A note, a note on tire. Unfortunately, breeding habits for mosquito that carry disease. Most of the times we have a lot of tires. Some farmers, they bring tires inside their farms and leave it just like that. When there is during the wet season, it becomes a breeding ground for mosquitoes, and a lot of it becomes a lot of concern. Prevention, control, and mechanical control. How infested backyard poultry could spread bird flu to people. Use of ventilation. Use a ventilation system that provides a constant supply of fresh air. Strategically place fans to generate a clean to less clean flow path of fresh air. Regularly clean and maintain ventilation system. Now, we are still in the use of cultural control and physical control. Now we are in slide 66. Slide 66. Use of host plants resistant variety. Use of host plants resistant variety. Where we have the antizoonosis, non-preference. One, why do we use this? We use it because host plants characters responds for non-preference of the insect for shelter, oviposition, feeding. It denotes presence of morphology or chemical factor which alters insect behavior, resulting in poor establishment of the insect. It is a type of plant resistance where the plant has natural threats that discourages pests from choosing it for feeding, laying eggs, or shelter. This is just a threat in plants where it discourages it it discourages pests from choosing it. It may look attractive, but it still discourages pests from perching on it, laying eggs on them. The pest simply does not like the plant because of its smell. Those desirable traits are its smell. The smell is awful. The smell of that plant is awful. It smells because of its smells, surface texture, color, or chemical compounds. How does it work? The plant acts in a way that makes the pests avoid it. So even when the pests are present on the farm, they do not prefer that particular variety. Take for instance, we know that the use of let me take for instance use of what do you call it? This plant that they use for cow repellent. There's a seed they use for cow repellent. Do you know the name? Okay, we'll get to it. There's a seed that we use for cow repellent. When we use them, they plant them around our farms, and we'll see that at the end of the day, when livestock move around it, they don't prefer eating those crops or even passing through because their smell is awful. They don't like the smell. Clear example Clear example of this is, for instance, many white flies. Take for instance in cassava, many white flies propagation prefer soft, hairy or succulent cassava leaves. But TMS 3572 and TME 419 have leaf texture and chemical traits that whiteflies do not like. Whiteflies land less on these varieties. They lay fewer eggs. Cassava mosaic disease spread is reduced because of this. This is what we call antizenius. The plant discourages the pest. In rice, some rice varieties have leaf surface wax that makes them unattractive to brown plant hoppers. These insects land but does not stay on to feed. Livestock equivalent example to support our IPM content is a plant stem. You can draw a parallel for livestock IPM. Some livestock breeds have skin characteristics, odor, or hair pattern that naturally discourage pests like tick or tsetse. Example is endama cattle. Their skin emits odor and chemical that many ticks do not prefer. Their hair texture also makes it harder for tick to attach. Effect is that we have fewer tick bite, lower tick population buildup, reduced incidence of tick-borne diseases. Then we have the antibiosis. The antibiosis is the adverse effect of the host plant on the biology and the survival, development, and reproduction. The pest feed normally. But the plant harms it. These are tracts of some plants that we use in IPM. The pest feed normally on the plant, but the chemical in the plant reduces the survival, growth, or the production of the pest. Example of such plants that we are talking about is rice, for instance. IR36 rice variety. It contains compounds that slow the growth of stem borers, the larva. Caterpillar becomes weak and they die early. In cassava, we have varieties with higher cyanogenic compound. It reduces survival of cassava maple and mite. The pests feed, but its population cannot grow. Livestock equivalent, goats. Take for instance goats. We have West African dwarf goats have skin secretions that affect tsetse survival. After feeding, those flies they die fast and it reduces their population, which is the main reasons for the IPM. Then we look at tolerance. The ability to grow yield despite pest attack. It is generally an attribute to plant vigor, regrowth of damaged tissue to produce additional branches. The pest attack, when we talk about tolerance, the pest attack, but the plant still perform well. The plants can withstand pest damages without major yield loss. The pest is not discouraged and not killed, but the plant stays productive. Example of such crops like we talk about in rice. Some upland rice variety compensate for stem borers damage by producing more tillers. Even after attack, grains yield remain stable. In cassava, some cassava varieties maintain good yield even with mild cassava green mite infestation. Leaves damage occurs, but storage roots remains large. Talk about in animal, sheep, the akansa or the odor species. Even when moderate tick presence, some local sheep breed maintain growth and milk. They compensate physiological without major stress. Then we talk about the ultra short summary. We looked at the anzinosis, the antibiosis, the tolerance. This is just the summary for these three. Pests avoid hosts. For antibiosis, hosts harm the pest after feeding. For tolerance, hosts survive and yield normally despite attack. Are you there?
Yes.
Short summary. Short summary. We are looking at the control type. We are looking at the control type. Meaning, you can see the table there. Control type, meaning using our country as an example. The cultural type, cultural use of integrated pest management. Changing farming habits to reduce pests. That is a simple explanation for it. We use it in changing farming habits to reduce pests. What do we do? Rotation, sanitation, earlier planting, resistant variety, mechanical, using ants through roots to remove pests, hand picking,
Admin,
traps,
please mute this guy that has been disturbing this platform, please.
mechanical, using hands stroke tools to remove pests, hand picking, trap, pruning, and weeding. Physical type, use physical force like heat or barriers. For example, mulching, solarization, hot water treatment, and net houses. Now, I know some of you came late, a little bit late. So I deliberately made these particular modules to be short so that we can attend this the assignments together. Are you there? Okay. So we are going back. We are going back to the assignment, please. We are going back to the assignment. Scenario 2. This presentation today is going to be more practical. So we are going to slide 54. We are going to slide 54 to attempt the assignment, and slide 55. Practical assignments on cultural control method in IPM. Can you, admin, can you mute this person? Practical assignments. We are looking at scenario 2. Are you there? Scenario 2. Slide 54. I know you guys have your notebooks and pen. Please let us do it together. Let us take our time and do this, because if I leave it for you guys, only few of us will attempt it. We are going to do slide 54 and slide 55. Scenario 2 and scenario 3. Scenario 2 focuses on maize, rainy season farming in Nigeria. We say that the farmer is in Benue and complains of the following. He has come to you, he has met you as a consultant, as an IPM officer or expert. He now narrates this information to you, maybe via text message or via telephone conversation. And he's asking you that a young maize leaf shows holes and window pane feeding. Damages is mostly in central whole of the plant. Many plants have frass, which means insect dropping. The farmer plants maize on the same land every year. So it means that he repeats this maize every year using leftover seed from your previous harvest. His field is heavily weeded during the first 3 to 4 weeks after planting. Planting is often late. The local extension agents suspect worms based on him. You are to advise the farmer using a cultural control method only, no chemical, no biological method, only cultural control. Then you are supposed to identify, number one, you have to put it in this way. First, identify cultural practice that increases pest pressure. You have to propose a cultural control solution using the IPM principle. You have to explain how each cultural method reduces the worm. Even from this, from the highlighted way to go. Number one, we had said identify cultural practices that increased pest pressure, showing you that something that they are doing in the farm using cultural method that is increasing the pest pressure. So you have to identify it with the information that you have been given. Then, if you find it, it means that you have to follow and propose a cultural control solution. Explain how each cultural method reduces the fall armyworm. Then, if you are after this, we move to the second one, which is scenario 3. We have this scenario 3 focused on tomato, open field, and greenhouse. A tomato farmer in Kano noticed rising pest pressure in his field. He reports, number one, leaves are coiled and twisted, sticky substances on leaf, small soot-bodied insects clustering under young leaves. And he's saying he's suspecting aphid. Whiteflies also seen flying when the plant is disturbed. Fruit damage by cutworm, especially newly transplanted seedlings. The farmer plant tomato very close together, use the same land continuously, and does not take the tomato. Field edge are weedy and most. You are to advise the farmer using only cultural, mechanical, and physical control method. No chemicals and no biological method. Assignment tasks for participants means that one, you should identify the cultural practice contributing to pest problem. You have to also propose cultural, mechanical, and physical method to be used. Explain how each control method works. So, yeah.
Yes, we are here.
Okay, please,
Yes, sir, we are here.
let us take our time. Yeah, let's take our time, few minutes to address these problems. You have your books, please solve it. If you are done, immediately you can start sending it to the platform so that we can address this. At least after this, we will attend to some questions. But if your question has been answered during this section, there's no need for you to repeat the questions. That's why we are putting up this practical section, this assignment, so that we'll be able to do them. While you are doing them, you will realize that you don't even have a question to ask. Don't forget, we are doing cultural, mechanical control, and physical control method using the IPM principle. I want you to understand why you are at it. I want you to recognize that this assignment trains you to recognize how farming practices influences pest outbreak. They also suggest practical cultural methods that farmers can adopt with zero cost to develop problems solution reasoning needed for IPM works. I want you also to think beyond spraying, because most of our farmers, the first thing they do, the first thing that will come to their head is spraying. Let us spray pesticide. Let us spray pesticide. But this is a practical exercise. This is exactly what farmers do. This is what they notice in their farms. So, scenario 2, we have said the first question: identify cultural practices that increases pest pressure. Using the information that the farmer have provided for you. Propose cultural control solution using the IPM principle. Explain how each cultural method reduces the worm damages. Are you there? Are we actually doing something?
Fine, sir.
Okay. So please, if you have done something, raise your hand so that we know that you are done. You know, one of the cultural control that we are supposed to use based on what we have is proper spacing. Good spacing in tomato reduces earlier blight and late blight. If equally in yam, equally in cassava, most in maize. Most of the times in cassava, some people plant too close, becomes a problem. There are standards, there are standard spacing for each crops. think we should all adopt this standard spacing. It works miracles. It helps us to reduce pests. Also, the choice of planting date also matters. The choice of planting date also matters. Integrated pest management avoid favorable dates for sowing and for planting makes the crop the least subjected to pests. Some people plant when the rain is too high. Some people plant early, which help to escape the peak of bollworm infestation. So, are you there? Have you done something? Raise your hand. Let me see. Use the emoji. Good, Mr. Joshua. We are here at it again. Um, Mr. Joshua, you can on your mic. Let me see what you have.
Yes, what I have as regards to identifying
Scenario two.
some of the cultural practices is the first
Please
one
call.
I have.
Is this scenario two?
No, yes, scenario two,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Sometimes, from my experience, if there are bushes around, it serves as a brooding ground for the pest. So they can easily brood there. And from what we have, the surrounding farm is bushy.
Okay.
Then I also have, um, like, he needs to plant early before rain is heavy, just like you mentioned. You should not plant when the rain is at the peak, so that it would reduce conditions that favor those pests. Then
Yes.
I also have rotation. You should practice rotation, not planting one type of like maize year in year round, so that it can
Yes.
develop life cycle of the pest.
Good.
Then as regards to number, that's okay. I
Focus.
think I'm not finished.
Okay. Well done, sir. Well done, Mr. Joshua. If if there's any other person that is done, let us hear him.
Hello, sir. I've also submitted mine to the charts. Finally,
Hello, please. When you on your mic, please say your name and continue, please.
I'm John from Kenya, and I'm on a board, so I cannot take much of the time. Please, I have shared it on the wall, onto the charts. Please, may you go through it.
Aside from Joshua, any other person? You have um, three things to do. Identify the cultural practices for scenario two that increases pest pressure, and then also propose cultural control solution using the IPM principle. Then explain how each cultural method reduces bollworm damages. Joshua have listed some based on his observation in identifying cultural practices that increases the pest pressure. Excuse me. Please look through the question again. The farmer actually left some clue for you. He gave you everything. Look at it very well, and you'll be able to make a very good decision. A young maize leaf shows holes and widow pen hidden. Damage is mostly in the central hole of the plant. Many plants have browse, that's insect droppings inside the hole. The farmer plant maize on the same land every year using the leftover seed from the previous harvest. His field is heavily weedy during the first 3 to 4 weeks after planting. Planting is often late, June, July, when rains are already heavy. Yes, go ahead, Mr. Godwin.
Okay. Um, Good evening, facilitator. Thank you
Good
for
evening.
this opportunity. Yes, I was not able to get the second question on the tomato, but then this one on the screen for maize, I think I have some solutions here with me.
Okay.
One of it, now, late planting. That's late planting is one of the problem that affect that's identify cultural practices that increase pest control pressure. Now, one of it, and then propose cultural control solutions. Now, late planting was one of the problems. So, in order to solve it, is for him to plant early. That's the mist. Planting early really reduce the pest pressure on maize. And then secondly, maize spacing. The spacing in between maize determine how they absorb photosynthesis and then they grow.
Good.
So the spacing of the maize. And then thirdly, one of which I have is this improved seed. That's there's this seed that are anti-pest. I don't know, you mentioned it, but it skipped the proper name to call it. It skipped my mind. So, uh, which you said,
Delsa maize.
there's how maize. Now, using those kind of maize helps to reduce or control pest infestation on our crops. That's on that. And then the method to which to use that's with control. Now, planting, farm preparation really matters because if the land is not properly prepared, planting on an unprepared or bushy farm cause those pests to stick around, and then they will in turn feed on the plants that we plant on the farm. Yes, I think these are the ones I have for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Godwin. Right. Very good. Thank you. While you are still attempting the third scenario, any other person that's raising their hand, let us hear you out. Let us hear you.
Sorry, sir. Can you flash the third question on the screen, just like this miss question? Thank you, sir.
That's scenario three. I'm waiting so that I can summarize the response for scenario two. We'll have many people on the platform right now. So let me hear. You're free to make mistake. Please don't hide. Okay. All right, Mr. Manuel, go ahead. Mr. Manuel, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Facilitator. I really appreciate you and appreciate the lecture. It's very practical. Yes, looking at the maize issue, the second scenario, I think one of the problems the man has is the reusing of his of seeds from his previous uh, crops because those maize are not really healthy as such. By the time it goes now to the second generation or possibly the third generation, it's going to have poor yield, poor resistance to pests. So I will advise that the farmer prioritize his seed, possibly using hybrid F1 seed, F1, which is the first generation seed. That will assist him in having seed that is resistant to pests. So the fall armyworm may not have serious problem, may not be able to actually uh, attack the farm as easily as it will have done. And also the land preparation, like I think Mr. Godwin also said the other time, land preparation is key to good planting, to good farming, because the land preparation, that's the foundation. uh, do you when you have too much weed, in fact you are supposed to have a near clean slate when you are planting. That will assist the crop or the plants to have healthy start in life and be able to withstand pests. So in my own understanding, I think there's some of the cultural problems that the man need to correct so as to have a good result. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Manuel. Well, without wasting time, I want you to also pay attention. Let us address scenario two while we wait for your feedback in scenario three. Having gone through what the man sent to us to look at, and we are asked to address it in these three, identify the cultural practices that increases pest pressure. All of you got it very, very, very right. Continuous monocropping of maize on the same land. This is the armyworm buildup yearly. Late planting, which coincides with peak fall pressure. Using saved seed, like Emmanuel said, the seed is he has used the seed over time. The farmer just he told us he has been using this seed continually without changing. Poor early weeding, like Mr. Goldwyn said, there are, and Joshua, they also said there are weeds around the farm. Poor early weeding, which shelters mold and young larvae. Not practicing field sanitation after previous harvest. You can see they said that the farmer's maize on the farmer plant maize on the same piece of land using leftover seed from the previous year. His field is heavily weeded during the first 3 to 4 weeks after planting. Then the second, the proposed cultural control solution, like we've all said, is to adjust the planting date. Early planting, late April, May, so the crop escape peak population. Deep plowing and land preparation exposes armyworm pupa hiding in soil after the last season, because that's they usually hide in the soil. Then use clean, vigorous seed, like you said, the F1. Stronger seedlings tolerate armyworm better. Earlier weed control, 0 to 3 weeks. Remove shelters and reduce humidity that favors egg laying. Crop rotation. Rotate maize with cowpea, soybean, groundnut, or cassava to break the armyworm cycle. Field sanitation. Destroy old stocks, residue where armyworm pupa may hide. Then, most importantly, optimal spacing. Avoid overly dense planting, which makes armyworm harder to scout or manage. Then the third one is where we say explain how each cultural method reduces this damage. Now, earlier planting, crop matures, crop matures, crop matures when armyworm population is still lower. Crop rotation breaks crop rotation, it breaks the pest life cycle by removing its preferred host. If you remove maize, which is preferred host, or sorghum, or any cereal, and plant with some other crop like soybean, with some other crops, you rotate them, it breaks their life cycle. They will not continue. Then weed control, weed remover, reduces alternative host and egg laying spots. Then deep plowing exposes pupa to sunlight, birds, and desiccation. Field sanitation prevents carryover pests from last season. We make sure that everything is done properly well. That is why I asked a question. No, I was in a place and somebody was doing land preparation. He first did um, plowing and wait for another 2 weeks and did another one, did harrowing before doing, and wait another 2 weeks before doing ridging. Somebody was asking me, why is it doing like this? It gives time when they plow, when the land preparation is prepared properly, they plow well. It exposes everything under the ground to come out, sunlight. You see birds, they eat them, some of them will die. Even the seed of grasses of weed will die. So proper um land preparation is also good. Then we are moving to scenario 3. Who have the answer, please? Anybody who has the answer? Tomato farmer in Kano notice rising pest pressure on his field. He reports leaves are coiled and twisted, sticky substance on leaves. He also reports whitefly also seen flying when the plant is disturbed. Fruit damage by catworm, especially newly transplanted seedlings. The farmer plants tomato very close together, use the same land continuously, and does not take the tomato. Bear in mind it's open field or greenhouse, but the farmer has decided not to stake. You are to advise the farmer using only cultural, mechanical, and physical control methods, no chemical. The same. Cultural control, mechanical control, and physical control. What do we do? Are you there? Let's hear you, please. Mr. Joshua, are you there? I'm waiting for you. Mr. Godwin, Mr. Ima. Do you have anything so that we can continue?
Mr. McDonald, do we have any challenge?
Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir. I don't think we have a challenge.
Okay, go on, Mr. Victor. Okay, Chebet, Leonard, you can go ahead. Nora, you can go ahead. Okay, Emmanuel, you can you can go ahead, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator, Mr. Facilitator, sorry. I think the tomato farmer too is having almost the same problem. His farm practice is almost the same thing with that of the second scenario. Because if you want to identify the cultural practices that contributes to the pest problems or pressures, is they are very clear here. We are is having a weedy his feet are weedy and moist. That you have much water on the field. Definitely, it breeds pests, and the weed is also the place where habitat for pests. Then the tomato plants are too close, so no standard the standard spacing is not followed. Definitely, these are part of the cultural problems. Problems is going to have that cultural practice that is bringing the same problem. So if you can change the by making the feed uh, less weedy, if possible, no weed at all. If we have a standard spacing on the farm, definitely this will reduce pest control, pest pressure, and possibly eliminate, if not eliminate, at least reduce to the barest minimum cases of pests in his farm. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other person? Okay, go ahead. Tega. Mr. Tega. Okay, Joshua, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I just want to add, though I'm not
Yes.
into tomato farming, I'm largely into maize and cassava plantation. But
Yes.
I would like to add, I noticed um, fruit damage by cutworm, especially from newly transplanted seedlings. So there's a possibility that that's in terms of scenario, identifying cultural practices.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's likely that from where he got those seedlings from, as being infestation on the seed, so it's likely that he's bring the pest from where he got those, from where they have been raised from the nursery. So the proposed cultural practice for this is that he should ensure clean seedlings from wherever he's bringing them to where he's transplanting it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Let's go through it one more time. Identifying cultural practices that contribute to the pest problem. We've already said everything. Emma, thank you, Joshua. He said continuous cropping of tomato. The farmer noted that they've been planting over continuous planting in the same land for a long time. So it means that there's pest carryover. There's pest carryover because of the continuous cropping. Then overcrowded plants. There is poor airflow, which is ideal for whitefly and aphid. Untimely weeding, which is alternative host and hiding spot for pests. Leaving plants unstaked, increases contact with soil pests like catworm. If you don't stake them, then it gives them contact and they cut it. The young seedling they cut it off. Late planting, late transplanting. Crops are exposed during peak pest seasons. Now, what are the proposed cultural, mechanical, physical control that we are? What are we proposing? Proposing crop rotation with non-host crop. You rotate with cowpea, maize, okra. Then timely and earlier, which like you guys have said, to reduce pest breeding site. Proper staking to allow airflow and reduce whitefly and feed buildup. Earlier planting to escape peak whitefly season. Field sanitation, removal of old plant debris is really important. Staking to keep plants off soil and reduce catworm injury. Mechanical control methods. Handpicking catworms early in the morning. You know, some people allow themselves and they call themselves farmers. They don't go to the farm early. When you have pest problems, that's when you go to the farm early. That's when they come out to eat. Or late in the evening, that's when they come out to eat. Handpicking catworms early in the morning. Use of yellow sticky traps to trap whiteflies and aphid. Prune heavily infested leaves and dispose of them away from the field. Rushing eggs clusters of pests when found under leaves. What are the physical controls that we're proposing? Mulching. Mulching around seedlings to reduce catworm soil movement. Insect-proof net over nursery beds or greenhouse opening. Reflective mulching, as in using silver mulch to repel aphid and whitefly. Water jet washing, using strong water pressure to knock aphid off leaves. Now, we are going to explain how each control method works. Rotation breaks the pest life cycle by removing their preferred host. Sticky trap directly capture flying insects. Staking lifts foliage off soil, reducing exposure or crawling pests. Reflective mulch disorients whiteflies, reducing landing and feeding. Weeding remove pest habitats and alternative food source. You know, this model of cultural physical methods, this combined multiple IPM strategy helps us to use the IPM properly. It distinguishes between cultural. The IPM use focus on low cost. You can see in this particular example, it's low cost, farmer friendly solution suitable for smallholder farmers. Think holistically about crop management and pest protection. This particular scenario helps us to think holistically about crop management and pest protection. So we have come to the end of our presentation for today of this module. So will be the next module. The next module will be on biological control and biopesticide. Thank you very much. If you have any question you want to ask, can go ahead, as long as it's related to cultural, mechanical, and physical control. Thank you, everyone.
I thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Nze, for your presentation. We truly
Thank you.
appreciate the knowledge shared today. And I'm very certain that everyone here has gained something practical that can be applied immediately. Please, if I'm correct, can we just give it up to Mr. Nze? The chat was, please can you just put up your emoji to celebrate Mr. Nze for such wonderful presentation? Thank you very much, sir. So right now, I'll be opening the floor for questions. If you have any questions that's related to what has been taught today, please kindly put it in the chat box. And for those on YouTube, if you have any questions, please put it in the live chat. I'm going to read all of them out so Ms. Lindsay can answer them. All right, so I'm waiting for the questions. Please feel free to ask your questions. So this is like the time to know more. I'm still waiting for questions. Or if it's easier, you can unmute and ask your question if that's easier. But you follow this format, you tell us your name, your location, a word of appreciation to Mr. Inze, and your question. Of course, please send your questions in the chat box and on the live chat as well. Thank you. It seems like there are no questions. All right, if there is no question
Good
for this,
evening. I have a question.
all right, please kindly tell us your
I have
name.
a question.
All right, you can go ahead, but please, you kindly tell us your
Okay.
name, your location. You give a word of appreciation to Mr.
Okay.
Nze, and then you go on
Okay.
with your question.
My name is Oguntoyin Ibokande from Ogun State.
All right, sir, go on. Mr. Kennedy, please, are you still with us?
I said, how can we solve the swine fever in the piggery farm? And they said the professor told me that in module 3 will be answered, but till now have not been answered.
Mr. Nze, please, did you get his question?
No, I
Because
did not get it.
Mr. Kennedy, please, do you mind repeating your question? Or typing it seems, because we cannot hear you very clearly.
Okay.
You can type
Okay.
it in the chat.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I think he's my friend that is asking of a swine fever issue. He's asking for a chemical or pesticide you can use. I think that's what he's asking. But if you can hear me very well, swine fever cannot be cured, cannot be treated, and has no vaccine. It's not it's not a what how do I put it? Swine fever is the only way to solve this is through strong prevention, early detection, and strictly biosecurity. When I talk about strengthening biosecurity, which is most important, this is the only effective solution. Farm entry control, no unauthorized visitors. Provide food baths with strong disinfectant. Workers must change clothes and boots before entering pig areas. Then pig management. Do not, when you talk about swine and we talk about strengthening biosecurity, Do not introduce new pigs without 30 days quarantine. Keep pigs indoors or fenced. Prevent contact with roaming pigs or wild pigs. Separate age groups, weaners, growers, adults to reduce spread. Feed safely. Feed safety. Never feed swale or leftover from restaurant homes. If unavoidable, boil the swale for at least 30 minutes. Early detection matters with swine fever. If you have to watch out for signs like sudden death, high fever, 40 above 40.5 degrees, red or bluish skin patches, weakness, losses of appetite, vomiting or bloody diarrhea, pregnancy or aborting. What you should do first when you notice this is straight isolation. You isolate. Separate sick pigs immediately. Stop movement of pigs in and out of your farm. Dispose of dead pig properly. Disinfect everything. That is it, please. There's no chemical right now. It's not a pest that is that have attacked it. It's now a disease. So it has to be treated. Just like I said, we strengthen the biosecurity. Most important. Some people in their farms they don't even have a food bath. They allow other pigs from somewhere to roam around and enter their farm. I cannot imagine buying a pig worth of 200, 250,000 times the number that I've already stocked in my farm. At the end of the day, I mistakenly allow that roaming pigs, which are most going to be a problem. You don't have you have to use you have to provide food bags with strong disinfectants. Bleach at least that has 2 to 3%. Thank you. I don't know if I answered your question, but you can still uh, you can still message and at, let us know whether it helped. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nze. Please, Mr. Kende, has the question been answered? Are you okay? Are you satisfied with the answer he gave? You can just give a thumbs up, Mr. Kehinde.
Yes, thank you very much. Been answered.
All right, thank you very much too. So in the absence of no other question, I'll be calling on Mr. McDonald. I'll be calling on Mr. McDonald to address us as we end the class, as we end this training session. Please, Mr. McDonald.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you, Mr. McDonald.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So please, before I say anything today, I believe we have a little time on our hands. Can I hear from one participant? How has the training been with you? Today is day 3 of the training, and can you just unmute your mic? Tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling from, and has the training satisfied your curiosity? Would you love to continue, or is just let me hear from you before I say anything this evening? You could just raise up your hand, then you'll be given the opportunity to speak. Is there anyone? Okay, okay, okay. So let me start with Joshua Bemi. Joshua Bemi, please unmute yourself. Tell us your name, where you're calling from, and let me know So far, so good. How you think the training has been with you?
Yeah, my name is Joshua Ogungbemi, and I'm connecting from Oyo State. Particularly, the training has been interesting to me, especially for the IPM. And today is just like another fantastic exposition, especially seeing the facilitator handling the case scenarios. So initially, I've always had a perception of chemical control, but with his explanations, um, other controls like cultural, mechanical, and the physical saves costs, and it should be the first line of action before any other. So I think that really that really made my day as regards to that, and I just got another um, knowledge from that area because I've always liked chemical applications. So I want to thank the facilitator for answering those questions for us. It was quite insightful. Thank you, sir.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow, that's great. That's great. Okay, before I say anything, Godwin Nekre, please, you can unmute and say something.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. I really want to appreciate the facilitator for today. He really gives us another perspective of the agri farming because one of the challenge we have is weed control and then how to manage farm. Now we're taught the chemical method is the only way, and then the chemical is always in high cost. And then I'm seeing like maize farm, the scenario is giving step-to-step practicals that require zero chemicals, but then with due application, rotation, and then I'm seeing those manual things that we took for granted are really the major reasons why we spend money and then still the case still remain the same and then the yield is still poor. Sincerely, I really enjoyed this program. It's as if the 2 hours should increase to like 3 hours. So continue the practical, like the practicals. The questions really are resonating with what is corresponding in our farms. So sincerely, thank you so much for this. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you, facilitator. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Godwin.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lucky. Thank you very much to all the participants on this call. We have heard it all. Without you, the participants, this training wouldn't have been possible because Mr. Lucky wouldn't have come up to be teaching us. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Today was practical, and I myself I was enjoying it. At some time, I raised up my hand to answer a question, but I raised it down. I kept it down again also. I also learned today that, yeah, when we talk about integrated pest management, one thing that comes to our mind almost all the time is chemicals, chemicals, chemicals. And today, the facilitator has taken us through another route, telling us that, hey, there's a chemical way, there's the physical way, there's a cultural way. Thank you very, very much, sir. Since today is a practical scenario, I'll also close with a practical scenario on the announcement aspects. So, sorry, sorry about that. So, I'll also close on the announcement aspects with a practical scenario. One of the announcements would be that we have gone three, we have done 3 trainings, and by now I believe from day one we must have networked professionally. So still feel free to network professionally, and still remember that no admin of GSAI would come into your DMs asking for any of your personal details. So please be wary and be very, very careful of that. Sharing your personal details anyway, anytime to anyone. Always feel free to reach out to me feel free to reach out to me through my WhatsApp if you have any questions. The groups will always be open. Like today, the groups will always be open on every training day. The plan is to open the group in the morning and it will be open till the time of the training, where it will be closed. Then we'll hold the training from 4 o'clock to 9 p.m. Then after 9 p.m., the WhatsApp groups will be open again till midnight. So feel free to always air your views, drop your opinions. We are seeing them. We dropped a question today, and we are very grateful to those that responded. We are looking through the questions, and thank you very much for the suggestions. Thank you very, very much, everyone. Then the groups will be closed by midnight to open again on Saturday. So while the groups are closed, to have questions, feel free to come into my DM. Thank you very much. Then also, the training materials for those of us that will be asking will be shared for free. You can see the rich training materials that Mr. Lucky is using. So if you need access to them, just hold on. When we come to the end of the training on December, we are going to share the training materials for free. A practical scenario: you're done with this training. You've attended all the classes from day one to the last day of the training. After that, you go back home and you think to yourself, let's take, for example, a practical scenario is McDonald. McDonald is a young person that is beginning in agriculture. And McDonald wants to make some good money from agriculture. And he has a lot of plans. And one of the plans he has is through consultations. McDonald has been privileged to stumble upon a free training like this. Since McDonald has stumbled upon a free training like this, McDonald has been privileged to stumble upon a free training like this. He goes through all the training, he goes through all the classes, he sees the value he has received from it, and he feels like he could monetize this his knowledge, which he has gotten for free. So McDonald gets a certificate, goes to his LinkedIn page, and posts about it that, oh, I attended GSAI 6 weeks training. I've learned about IPM, and here I am. McDonald goes back to do a little one or two research about IPM more, adding knowledge and building upon what he has learned from the class. McDonald reaches out to his uncle, who is a farmer, and has been complaining to him about pests destroying his yield and destroying his farm. And he tells his uncle that, uncle, you will consult with me. The uncle reaches out to him. He goes to the uncle's farm, looks through the farm, finds out, just like the practical scenario we have today, that the uncle is planting the maize too close, that the maize has some troubles, like the weeds in it, has those insects in it. And he, from the knowledge he has gotten from this class, he suggests to the uncle, okay, for this scenario, we don't need a chemical reaction to it. We need a natural one. He suggests to the uncle what is to be done. The uncle does it, and the uncle pays him. After 2 weeks, the uncle is very happy for the work he has done. The uncle calls his fellow farmer and say, oh, I have a cousin, McDonald. He came to my farm and proffered solutions. You can reach out to him. So the uncle's friend now calls out to McDonald. McDonald gives his price. So at the end of the day, please, my question, is McDonald losing or not? Anyone can unmute and speak. Is McDonald losing or not? No, don't worry about raising your hand. Just unmute and speak. It's a yes or no question. At the end of the day,
McDonald is growing.
McDonald is
It's
growing. Okay, who
growing.
again?
Is gaining. Is gaining.
Is
Is gaining.
gaining. Okay. Okay,
Yes.
who? Thank you very much. Who again? Any other person?
Yes, McDonald is actually growing. He's growing and he's gaining. He's expanding.
McDonald is growing,
Yes,
gaining,
solution is getting way for him.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that, I have come to the end of the announcements for today. Thank you very much. Moderator, please.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. McDonald. Thank you so much. So, all right, better farmers, it's been such an insightful and impactful session this evening. And if you're not tired though, and if you've been really impacted, I would like to ask that you give it up for yourself one more time with emojis. Thank you very much. Give it up for yourself for being here till this time, for staying for the 3 days and gaining more knowledge, updating yourself with so much knowledge on how to better and how to yield better crops. Thank you very much. And also give it up to our facilitators for adding value to this training. Mr. Nze, for the many things that he has said that's actually going to be practical in our farm, is actually going to yield in our farm. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we've come to the end of this training session. But before we leave, I would like to remind us that there's going to be a second training session today by 7 p.m. So this is 3 minutes past 6. And the second training session is going to start by 7 p.m. And I would like for each and every one of us to be in attendance.